And you all still have open minds?
Yes.
Thank you, jurors. With that, we're ready to begin our today's work. All of the jurors have responded in the affirmative yes to each of the questions. We'll have the witness back on the stand.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Morning. Dr. Atkinson, you understand you're still under oath?
Yes.
Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Doctor, you recognize this image?
Yes.
Is that an image of the bag of rugs that you had the opportunity to examine at OCME?
Yes, it is.
The Commonwealth would seek to mark this as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is file number P10900001. No objection.
The next image, P109000, is that what you said?
0001.
0001 is now in evidence as Exhibit 181. Thank you. And jurors, we had a change in staff over the weekend and for the rest of the trial. Ms. Blankenship is going to be the court reporter. I know you can only see the back of the person, but welcome.
And Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish.
Pardon me?
May the Commonwealth publish the
You
exhibit.
sure can.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, can we have file number P10900001? So, Doctor, directing your attention to the image on the screen, what is the significance of the 230493 at the bottom?
That is the OCME case number. So 23 was the year, 2023. And then that was the number of cases we'd had up to that point.
And so, Doctor, your numbers, are they the same as the crime lab numbers?
No.
Okay. And if we could take that down, thank you. And could we have what was marked as Exhibit 180 from Friday? And for the record, this is file number PC110198. Doctor, directing your attention to the screen for Exhibit 180, what were the observations you were able to make of this piece of carpet?
This piece of carpet has a large area of red-brown stain on it, and in the middle of this stain was an approximately 1/4 inch long, what looked to be a blood clot.
Could you take that down, Ms. Gilman? Thank you. So, Doctor, what is a blood clot?
A blood clot is just blood that has solidified or clotted.
And how were you able to make the determination it looked like a blood clot? What was it that about it that gave you that indication?
It's the correct color, shape, consistency of a blood clot. I've seen thousands of them.
Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Thank you. Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes.
Is that a fair and accurate depiction of a close-up of the blood clot from that section of carpet?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is PC110197.
No objection.
Photo PC110197 is now in evidence as Exhibit 182. Thank you.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 182?
You may.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman, could we have PC110197? So, Doctor, that's the close-up of the blood clot that you identified?
Yes.
What did you do with that blood clot?
I saved that blood clot in a jar for possible future DNA analysis.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. How do you save it in a jar, sir?
You place it into a plastic jar, and then we, I believe, freeze that jar afterward.
Now, Your Honor, if I may approach?
You may.
Thank you. Doctor, I'm showing you two images at this point in time. Are those fair and accurate depictions of the next section of carpet you had the opportunity to analyze or look at that day at OCME?
Yes, this was the largest piece.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to enter the next two photographs as exhibits.
What are the,
File numbers?
yes?
The first would be PC 110204, and the second would be PC 110217.
No objection.
Those two photos now identified by the Commonwealth by their P number are in evidence as 184 and 185.
That's what I have.
Thank you for the correction, 183 and 184.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth may publish these next two exhibits.
You may.
Ms. Gilman, can we have what's now been marked as Exhibit 183, which is PC 110204? Doctor, directing your attention to what's been marked as Exhibit 183. What observations did you make of this carpet while it was being unrolled?
I observed the same types of red-brown stains on the carpet. There were also more areas of clotted blood, and there were also areas with white, clumpy, powdery substance. Some of it was discolored from the fluid that was on it.
And Ms. Gilman, can we have Exhibit 184, which is PC 110217? So close. And doctor, is this the same section of carpet?
Yes.
And now, doctor, on this section, were you still able to observe the red-brown staining and the white substance?
Yes.
In addition to making these observations of the white substance, did you identify anything as far as potential hairs?
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Your Honor, can I go?
Yes?
Doctor, you recognize this image?
Yes,
Is that a collection of hairs that you saw on that section of carpet?
it is.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to enter PC 110243 as the next exhibit.
No objection.
It's in evidence now as 185, 110243.
And Your Honor, before the commission, the Commonwealth published exhibit 185.
Yes.
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110243? Doctor, directing your attention to exhibit 185, what did you do with this collection of hairs?
I collected all the hairs that I could find on the piece of carpet, and including this clump, and I put them in an envelope, an evidence envelope, and sealed it and signed it.
And Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Now, Doctor, besides making observations of the section of carpet as far as what you saw on it, did you have the opportunity to go through that material and find any objects in it?
Yes.
Your Honor, can I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes, I do.
Is that a close-up of the section of carpet with a hand holding a ruler that you had the opportunity to examine at OCME?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to mark this as the next exhibit, Your Honor, which is PC 110208.
No objection.
Photo with that ID is now in evidence as 186.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, the Commonwealth publish exhibit 186.
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110208? So, doctor, directing your attention to this image, whose hand is that?
That is my hand with a glove.
And what is the ruler next to?
Just above the ruler, you can see a metal item that has a loop on one side. It appeared to me to be some sort of jewelry charm without a chain attached.
And, doctor, around that area, is that white substance, is that what you were talking about as the white powdery substance? And I don't want to misstate you if it's not powdery, but what is that? Was that what you saw that day?
Yes, almost all of these clumps are that same powdery, clumpy substance. Some of them look red and brown and tan, probably because of the liquid that made them clump.
Ms. Gilman, if you could take that down. Thank you. Doctor, what did you do with that piece of metal that you found?
I photographed it and I also placed it into an envelope and saved it for evidence.
May I approach you? Honor?
You may.
Doctor, do you recognize this image?
Yes, I do.
Is that a picture of the piece of metal that you photographed by an envelope?
Yes.
The Commonwealth would seek to have image file number PC 110245 as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
110245, that image is in evidence as 187.
With the court's permission, Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish 187?
You may.
Ms. Gilman, can we have PC 110245? Thank you. So, doctor, is this the photographing of the piece of metal that you spoke of?
Yes.
And that envelope, is that the envelope you put it into that's in the photograph?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, there's gloves beneath you. You can put those on. Doctor, I'm handing you a glassine envelope. I'm going to ask, do you recognize the envelope that's inside the glassine envelope?
Yes.
And did you have the opportunity to look inside that paper envelope this morning?
Yes, I did.
Is that the same paper envelope that you put the piece of metal in at the OCME?
Yes.
And the yellow sticker on the exterior of the envelope, what is that number on it?
That's the same OCME number. That was the number of this case.
And on the front of it, do you recognize the writing on the front?
Yes.
And how do you recognize that?
That is my handwriting describing what this was.
And can you look inside the envelope and then ask to recognize the object? Do you recognize the object, sir?
Yes, I do.
Is that the piece of metal that you found in the rug while you were doing your examination at OCME?
Yes.
If you could hold on to it for one moment.
Sure.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would seek to have the glassine envelope that has the paper envelope and the piece of metal inside the paper envelope as the next exhibit.
Any objection?
No objection.
It's now in evidence as 188.
Thank you, Doctor. You can put it back inside. Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Doctor, did you recognize any writing on Exhibit 188, the piece of metal? Anything that was pressed into it?
Yes, there was an engraving of Gucci on one side.
John, may I approach?
Yes?
Doctor, do you recognize that image?
Yes, I do.
What is that an image of?
This is the plastic container that I saved a large amount of this clumped substance and also all of the blood clots that I found.
Commonwealth would seek to have this marked as the next exhibit, which is file number PC 110222.
Any objection?
No objection.
PC 110222 is now in evidence as Exhibit 189.
Your Honor, may the Commonwealth publish Exhibit 189?
Yes?
Ms. Gilman, could we have PC 110222? So, Doctor, this container, what did you do with this container?
I put a lid on this container and then we put it in a freezer.
And why do you put it in a freezer?
For DNA analysis, that's the preferred method of preserving the tissue.
And Ms. Gilman, if you could close out of that. Doctor, did you take any other samples that day while you were making your examination of the rugs?
Yes, I did.
What did you take for samples?
I saw in I painstakingly mushed through a lot of this crumbly substance. And there was one area near one of the blood clots that appeared to have some specks of something that could possibly be tissue. The clumped areas appeared to be tissue at first, or possibly tissue, but upon further inspection, it was obvious that none of this clumped powdery material was actually any kind of tissue. But this one area had very small specks of something that I thought might not be the same type of powder. So I put this area, I saved that for looking at under the microscope.
And how do you do that, sir?
How do you save it? Or
Yes, please.
you put it into a cassette.
And do you have to add anything to the substance to put it in the cassette?
No, but you put the cassettes into formalin. It's like formaldehyde that preserves the tissue.
What happens, and now, you did that with the tiny specks. Did you do that with any other items that day? Make formalin, put things into formalin?
No, I saved the blood clots mainly for DNA testing.
And if I may have a moment, Your Honor?
Huh? You may.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross exam.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning.
You used the word a moment ago on direct examination. You painstakingly went through some of the material that you found on the rug.
Yes.
And you did that very carefully.
Yes.
You were paying close attention because that's how you're trained and that's what you do.
Correct.
I want to just talk to you, the beginning here, about your position. You are a deputy chief of the medical examiner, correct?
I am no longer the deputy chief medical examiner.
Okay, I'm looking at your CV and I'm wondering if it's just an older one.
It must be an older one, yes.
Okay, can you tell us, sir, what you are now? What's your title?
I am a medical examiner
Okay.
now.
When did you stop being deputy chief?
I served as deputy chief from 2018 until 2022.
So, when you were the deputy chief, and now when you're, I want to say simply a medical examiner, you're still doing very important work. Were you doing this type of work that you're doing as a medical examiner in your role as a deputy chief medical examiner?
Yes, I was.
Okay. And there's a lot of responsibility attached to being a deputy chief medical examiner as well as just a medical examiner.
Sure.
And once again, my use of just a doesn't imply anything. I hope you know that. Can I ask you something then? Knowing now that this might be an older CV, are you now, or were you once, a member of the Massachusetts Commission on Medical Legal Investigation?
Yes, I was.
But you're no longer.
Correct.
And when I say no longer, that position is basically time controlled by the statute that created that commission. Is that fair to say?
I have no idea.
Okay. How long were you on the commission?
I think it was approximately the same, maybe a year in either direction of when I was deputy.
And that commission was created by statute to promote the use and skills of the medical legal investigation of deaths, correct?
Yes.
And you and other people assigned to that commission did the important work of trying to ensure that medical legal investigations are thorough and exacting and reliable.
Correct.
And on that commission, there are police officers, law enforcement, district attorneys, medical examiners like yourself, correct?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury what that phrase means, medical legal investigation?
Sure. It refers to any type of medical investigation that has the potential to also involve the legal system.
Okay. And that's what medical examiners do. They get involved in the legal system because they're trying to determine cause and manner of death. Correct?
Correct.
Now, I look at your CV, and I see that you have published in the area, certain medical-related areas, correct?
Yes.
And the journals that you published in are well-respected and peer-reviewed. I mean, they're important journals.
Sure.
And I see that on your CV, you also list, on this CV, under the abstract title, two presentations that I think are characterized as posters, correct?
Yes.
And when we say posters, we're literally talking about physical posters, correct?
Yes.
And the information on posters, it's equally important. It helps educate people. You're providing very valuable information to people, regardless of the form that it takes, correct?
Correct.
And either while you were a deputy chief medical examiner or in your capacity now as a medical examiner, do you participate in lectures, or sometimes they're called rounds, with your colleagues and discuss aspects that pertain to your work?
Yes.
And people present during those lectures on particular areas of either evolving forensic pathology or just what you're experiencing within the office itself, correct? Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
And I think you testified on Friday that you have completed 1,000 or more autopsies. Did I hear that right?
Yes, I said 1,500, more than 1,500.
Oh, I shortchanged you. I apologize. That's a lot of autopsies, isn't it?
Sure.
And he told us on Friday that it can be a relatively short period of time, or an autopsy can take as long as a day or more.
Correct.
And when you're doing an autopsy, you told us on Friday that you're trying to determine, the manner of death. That's one of the goals of your examination during an autopsy, correct?
Yes.
Now, one of the things that the Office of Chief Medical Examiner here in Massachusetts does is it it's responsible by law to investigate various forms of death, correct?
Correct.
And that includes death by accident or unintentional injury, suicide, correct?
Sure.
And it includes death that is under suspicious or unusual circumstances, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, it includes death that may occur if somebody's in jail custody or something like that, correct?
Correct.
It also specifically includes a requirement that you investigate sudden death, correct?
Correct.
And it requires that you investigate sudden death when the decedent was in apparent good health, correct?
Correct.
And that phrase that I just used, sudden death of the decedent who was in apparent good health, that is contained in the statute that applies to the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
And so the statute and what you do as a medical examiner, you have to investigate where there is a suspicion or information that suggests that someone suddenly died, correct?
Correct.
And specifically where somebody suddenly died that otherwise looked like they were in good health, correct?
Correct.
And that statute requires that certain people, like police officers, physicians, hospital administrators, licensed nurses, DCF social workers, funeral directors, they are required by that statute to report that information to the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Or they could be fined under the statute, right?
I don't know that for sure, but I'll take your word for it.
Okay, thank you. So now turning to just manner of death. Manner of death can be, and please correct me if I'm wrong, manner of death can be classified as accident, correct?
Correct.
Suicide,
Yes.
homicide,
Yes.
and then there's a category of undetermined or could not be determined, correct?
Correct.
Is it fair to say that a determination, or I'm sorry, a manner of death that results in a classification of undetermined is a classification when the information pointing to one manner of death is no more compelling than one or more competing manners of death after considering all the information you have?
That is correct.
So you are familiar, aren't you, Dr. Atkinson, with the National Association of Medical Examiners?
Yes.
Sometimes it goes by the acronym of NAME, M-A-M-E.
Correct.
You're also familiar with their 2002 publication, A Guide for the Manner of Death Classification, correct?
Yes.
And it's that particular document is kept at the Office of Chief Medical Examiner, isn't it? Like it is in many offices, correct?
It's on the internet. That's where I usually look at it.
So it's available to look at for medical examiners when they're just reviewing some of the material that's in that 2002 publication.
Yes.
It also lists specifically those four manner of deaths that we just talked about.
Yes. And others.
I'm sorry, I had to cut you off.
And others too.
And others. And then that guide goes through anecdotal, or, it's my word, not yours, but it goes through examples of what types of causes of death may result in certain manners, correct?
Correct.
And a cause of death is different than a manner, isn't it?
Yes.
And so as your role of medical examiner, you will not only determine the manner of death, but you also will attempt to determine the cause of death.
Right.
And some of that information finds its way specifically in, for instance, a death certificate applicable to some individual, correct?
Yes.
It's very important to evaluate all the information you have before reaching a conclusion as to manner of death and causation, correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say, doctor, that without a physical body, the Office of Chief Medical Examiner cannot make a finding of either manner of death or cause of death?
Without what? Sorry?
With a body, with a physical body.
Generally, we don't do that, no.
Okay. Now, That 2002 guidelines, and it's current. In other words, there hasn't been a new issue. It's still current and it's published in 2002, correct?
Correct.
It does include, like you said, examples of causes of death and then tries to tell the reader this is an example of a cause of death that could be considered a certain manner of death, correct?
Yes.
And I think it goes through, if you recall, multiple paragraphs, up to like 44, 46 different paragraphs of examples, correct?
Correct.
And it actually includes things like characterized as cafe coronary, upper airway food obstruction, correct?
Correct.
It goes through, it gives an example of death by fear or fright, right?
Correct.
It includes an explanation of death resulting from autoerotica behavior or consensual atypical sexual behavior, correct?
Correct.
And it goes on to say, just as an example, specific to that cause of death, autoerotic behavior, it talks about that causation as being, in large part, considered accidental death.
Specifically, autoerotic asphyxia. Yes.
Okay, autoerotic asphyxia. Can you tell the jurors what asphyxia is?
Asphyxia is anytime oxygen is deprived from parts of the body. In the case of autoerotic asphyxia, it's due to a ligature compressing the neck vasculature or the blood vessels in the neck.
Now, I just want to talk to you for just a little bit about some of the causes that are considered to be causes of sudden unexpected death. We can agree, can't we, that sudden unexpected death is a rare occurrence?
Sure.
Well, is it rare, or does it happen more often than
Any
rare?
possible cause? It's pretty rare, I would say. Sure.
Okay, and there's any number of causes of sudden unexpected death, isn't there?
Very many, yes.
Okay. And those causes for sudden unexpected death, they are known within the forensic pathology world, aren't they?
Yes.
And are they known to a lesser extent in the non-forensical medical arena?
Sure.
And it's fair to say, based on your experience and training and knowledge of sudden unexpected death, you wouldn't expect that just a layperson would really understand sudden unexpected death. That is the parlance of educated people like yourself.
Overruled. He can answer if he can.
I'm not totally sure what you mean. People understand certain causes of death.
Okay. What about in the specific area of sudden unexpected death?
Depends on the cause of death. I think most people understand what injuries are. Most people understand what a heart attack is.
Okay. You would agree that sudden unexpected death can occur then as a result of cardiac causes,
Yes.
of pulmonary causes,
Yes.
of vascular causes,
Yes.
reflexive causes,
Yes.
of asphyxial causes,
Correct.
and even toxicology causes.
Yes.
And sudden unexpected death has been observed to occur both in young people and old people,
Sure.
and middle-aged people.
All types of.
It occurs male and female.
Yes.
And there's some causes associated with sudden unexpected death that may be seen in experience that they occur more in the male population than the female population.
Yes.
One of those sudden unexpected death causations is the Brugada syndrome, correct?
Correct.
And without going into any great detail, the Brugada system is simply where somebody reportedly, and correct me if I'm wrong, basically lies in bed and dies and then utters something.
I don't think that's necessary. It's a channelopathy. That's a usually genetic mutation, or a mutation that you get from your parents that affects the ion channels in the heart, and it it predisposes someone to a sudden arrhythmia. An arrhythmia is just an electrical disturbance of the heart.
All right. And
It doesn't have to happen at night, and I don't know about the utterance part.
okay, I apologize. In any event, sudden unexpected death can occur in individuals that otherwise appear to be healthy before the sudden death.
Yes.
And in fact, that's one of the references we've already talked about within the statute that we just talked about a minute ago. That sudden death occurring in someone that otherwise didn't have any manifestation of a physical illness or problem.
Correct.
And it's fair to say that based on your knowledge of sudden unexpected death, that it also occurs, sometimes the sudden death itself can be the first manifestation that somebody had a problem.
Correct.
And there are certain triggers associated with sudden unexpected death, and those triggers can include exertion, physical exertion.
I'm confused. Are you talking about any kind of sudden unexpected death, including
I'm talking about it
injuries? You can die unexpectedly and suddenly from almost any type of cause of death.
Okay. When I'm asking you these questions, and if I'm not doing a good job, you correct me, but I'm talking about, for instance, sudden unexpected death where there is really no prior manifestation of a physical problem before someone experiences sudden unexpected death.
Are you talking about a natural cause of death?
A natural, yes, not a death resulting from anything other than something natural and internal. Yes.
Okay. And what was the question again? Sorry.
So, a sudden unexpected death, given that characterization, the trigger for such a sudden unexpected death can include physical exertion, correct?
Yes.
But it also can occur without any particular physical exertion, correct?
Correct.
And it can include, for instance, in trained athletes who have been trained to do sports. It happens there too, correct?
Yes.
And it can happen as a result of sexual activity, for instance.
Correct.
And it can happen as a result of illness or stress, correct?
Correct.
And, I mean, it can happen, if you know, sir, it can happen as a result of travel or extended travel or things like that in a person.
Sure.
Now, it's true, isn't it, doctor, that when we use the phrase sudden unexpected death, the death that we're talking about, and once again, and I'm glad you corrected me, that we're talking about just natural death, natural causes, that a sudden unexpected death can happen suddenly, but not necessarily instantaneously. Correct?
Depending on which type of disease would cause it, yes.
So, for instance, that example you just you talked about, if someone develops in a natural way a lethal arrhythmia, an example of a ventricular fibrillation, it could result in death, correct?
Yes.
And that mechanism, I'm going to call it a mechanism, but you tell me if it's different, that the heart chambers quiver and they fluctuate, and that's what causes the fibrillation, right?
Yes, it's an electrical disturbance that makes it so that the heart stops pumping.
And at times when you examine someone who has experienced this on an autopsy, you actually don't see, and I'm not talking about you personally, but I'm talking about medical examiners related to this, you don't see any structural defect in the heart.
Of people who have died from natural causes?
Yes, yes.
From a cardiac dysrhythmia?
Yes.
You can't diagnose a cardiac dysrhythmia unless the person died while attached to a cardiac monitor that can see the actual dysrhythmia happening. In fact, most cardiac dysrhythmias, you do see something structural in the heart. The one you were talking about before, Brugada syndrome, several others like long QT syndrome, will not have visible, even under the microscope, signs.
You just used the phrase long QT. Could you just define that for the jury?
That's another channelopathy that affects the ion channels in the cell membranes of the cardiac cells.
And let's just stick to the case of a particular fibrillation and someone who suddenly dies as a result. It's fair to say that during that process that they can continue to look and appear as if they're making movements, that they might be conscious, but in fact, their body is dying and they then experience sudden death.
Usually if you're having a cardiac dysrhythmia, you can have movement, seizure-like activity, but usually you're not looking like a normal person would.
Okay.
And it's very quick.
And sometimes in your experience as a medical examiner, you've had reports where people talk about the minutes before or the short time period before someone experienced sudden death, and they talk about the way they were moving or they were even walking, but they might have been mumbling, and then they die. And they describe those behaviors to you, don't they?
Occasionally we'll get something like that reported to us.
Okay. And you listen to that information, and being the trained medical examiner you are, then you consider that information in the context of the sudden unexpected death. You just include the information because you are interested in getting all the information you can.
Correct.
And once again, sudden unexpected death can result from vascular catastrophes. That's my word.
Sure.
And those catastrophes can be aorta dissection, aorta rupture, or an aneurysm, correct?
Among many others, yes.
And this sudden unexpected death in this area can be the result of acute squeezing of a particular body part.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
In medical terms, tamponade?
Oh, a cardiac tamponade?
Yes.
Cardiac tamponade happens when there's bleeding
Okay.
into the pericardium. That's the sac, a membranous sac that surrounds the heart. And when enough blood gets into that sac, it displaces the heart and doesn't allow the heart to open up it basically stops the ability of the heart to pump.
Now, I just want to move on to another simple cause. Are you familiar with the phrase, I'm sure you are, sudden arrhythmic death syndrome?
Yes.
And it's accurate to say that sudden unexpected death with a normal heart at autopsy accounts for 5 to 10% of young adult sudden deaths.
Of natural deaths?
Of natural deaths, yes, sir.
Yes.
And now, I'm not going to get this one right, but are you familiar with the acronym of CPVT?
No.
Catecholaminergic tachycardia. I probably butchered that up, but does that ring a bell?
Catecholaminergic?
Thank you. Yes.
I still don't know what the other two letters stand for.
Okay. Polymorphic ventricular tachycardia. I said it wrong again, but...
That's probably another dysrhythmia.
Okay.
Or tachycardia is a fast heartbeat.
Now, once again, in these types of causes of sudden unexpected death, in each one that we just briefly described, in each one of the cases, the person who then experiences sudden death can be viewed in the moments, whether it be minutes or a few minutes or seconds, they can be viewed by someone observing them as still moving or at times even talking until death results. Correct?
Correct.
Then there are neurological causes for sudden unexpected death, correct?
Sure.
And they are arrhythmia linked. Am I right in saying that? They're linked to arrhythmias.
They can be.
And they're linked to hemorrhaging and stroke and things like that.
Sure.
And people can experience sudden unexpected death as a result of a neurological cause where they have, up to that point, not manifested any physical manifestation of illness, correct?
Correct.
Once again, moving on, there's pulmonary causes of sudden unexpected death, aren't there?
Yes.
And for instance, massive pulmonary embolism is the leading cause of sudden unexpected death in young adults, isn't it?
It's one of them, yes.
And this is one of those causes of death that can result from one of the triggers, including recent travel, right?
That's one of them, yes.
Hormonal therapy?
Yes.
And just moving on to two more examples, and we talked about it. There are also asphyxial causes of sudden and unexpected death, correct?
Correct.
Those asphyxial causes of sudden unexpected death, sometimes they're characterized as, they happen when someone is hanging or experiencing strangulation. Is that fair to say?
That is one cause of asphyxia, yes.
But asphyxia can be caused by a positional obstruction, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell the jury what a positional obstruction is in this context?
That would be something that either blocks your face so you can't breathe, or something that sometimes a car in a car accident will, or a better example, anything that if you have a heavy weight on your torso, sometimes that keeps you from being able to expand your lungs. This kind of death is called positional asphyxia.
I see. And is it the result of, as part of the mechanism for this is hypoxia results?
That's what happens, yes.
And the hypoxia, could you tell the jury what hypoxia is?
Hypoxia is just lack of oxygen.
And I'm not going to say it right, but I'll try. Vagal reflex pathway, a cause for sudden unexpected death?
Sure.
And that's also related to a form of asphyxia or compression stress?
It can be.
It can be. And can you just tell the jury briefly what the mechanism for that is?
A vagal, that usually causes a cardiac dysrhythmia as well.
Okay, and can that occur when there is some pressure on the vagal nerve?
Yes.
And where is the vagal nerve?
The vagus nerve is in the neck and upper portion of the chest.
So if something is putting pressure on the neck of an individual, that could result in this vagal reflex pathway or vaginal reflex issue that could result in sudden unexpected death.
Sure.
And that sudden unexpected death in that situation can occur, once again, in someone that simply has not manifested any physical problems to the observer.
Right, until the pressure is put on their neck.
Okay.
Sure.
And Dr. Atkinson, you know Dr. Mindy Hull, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And she is presently the Chief Medical Examiner of the Office of Chief Medical Examiner?
Correct.
I didn't say that right, but and you're familiar with the fact that she has in fact presented to your colleagues at the Office of Chief Medical Examiner on causations involving and resulting in sudden unexpected death, aren't you?
Yes.
And so this topic of sudden unexpected death, you can find it in the research and you can find it in the experience of trained and professional medical examiners like yourself.
Of course.
So just to conclude, we can all agree, isn't it, that sudden unexpected death is rare, correct? Maybe I'm overstating that. I'm sorry.
People die suddenly quite often, but depending on what parameters you're talking about, in a young person that has no medical history, yes, it's rare.
Okay. It's rare for someone without medical history. You see it more often in the forensic setting than, say, someone sees it in just a non-forensic setting. Is that fair to say? Because that's part of your job.
Yes.
And it occurs in individuals who otherwise have never manifested any medical problem.
It can.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you very much.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right ahead.
Thank you. Doctor, regarding the vagal reflex pathway and sudden unexpected deaths that result in that, how common is that in a healthy adult female with no medical history?
It depends on, definitely not common at all, but
And in this case that you were working on, what evidence did you see of someone suffering from an injury to the vagal reflex pathway?
there was no evidence at all in this case
And
of any type of death,
okay,
or at least there was no body to autopsy.
so that's kind of a follow-up question to that. There's no body to autopsy. What would you have looked at in the body if you were looking for, say, an issue with the vagal reflex?
Well, something like a cardiac channelopathy can't be diagnosed at autopsy, but it's a diagnosis of exclusion that we only ever would put on a death certificate because it's so rare. If we did a full autopsy that excluded injuries, that excluded toxicology as a possible cause of death, that excluded all the far more likely causes of natural death, like pulmonary embolism or heart disease. So without doing an autopsy to exclude all those things, a sudden arrhythmia disorder is at the very bottom of the list of possibilities.
What would you have looked at in a case to determine if someone died of hypoxia? In an autopsy, what would you have looked at?
That totally depends on what's causing the hypoxia. If it's a hanging or a strangulation, you would look for injuries of the neck, a ligature furrow on the neck. Other types of hypoxia would have other types of findings.
What would you look at during an autopsy to diagnose a pulmonary embolism?
You can actually see the pulmonary embolism. It's a clot that usually comes from the leg veins and goes into the pulmonary arteries, and you can see that inside of the pulmonary arteries.
What would you look at during an autopsy to diagnose some neurological cause of death?
Other than sometimes seizures that have no findings at autopsy, you could see bleeding is a subarachnoid hemorrhage from a burst aneurysm, for example.
And when you do an autopsy, how do you see the bleeding around the brainstem?
You can just see it with your eyes and take photographs of it.
You earlier described a cardiac tamponade. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. And again, that was bleeding into the pericardial sac.
Yes.
Would that be painful?
It can be painful.
Now, with this matter, what access did you have to determine a manner of death regarding this case, which was 23, forgive me, I want to make sure I get your number right. Regarding case 230493, what did the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner have access to determine a cause of death?
We did not determine a cause or manner of death.
And why didn't you determine the cause or manner of death?
Because we had no body to autopsy.
With these sudden unexpected deaths that were reviewed with you, does someone have to have a physical injury in order for these to come on?
No.
So these can occur without a physical injury.
Yes.
And when you've had access to autopsies to make these findings, have you ever seen a sudden, unexpected death where there were no injuries?
Yes.
Moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Doctor, you reviewed when you have access to a body for an autopsy, what do you get access to as far as medical records?
We investigate where the person might have ever gone for medical care, sometimes from family members that will tell us, and we request records from all of those places. If we don't know that information, we sometimes send out a blind request to a lot of hospitals in the area.
And with some of these sudden, unexpected deaths, do you also get access to statements of people who see the decedent right before they die?
Yes.
And so does that help you with the diagnosis?
Yes, it does.
And did you have any access to any statements regarding Ms. Walshe before she died?
No.
With these sudden, unexpected deaths that were reviewed through you, pulmonary, neurological, and the rest, how common are they with a healthy adult female?
How old is this?
39 years old?
They're very uncommon.
And on the effect of travel, there was some discussion of the effect of travel. And how would travel affect someone as far as a sudden, unexpected death?
Generally, that refers to travel being a risk factor for pulmonary emboli or deep venous thrombosis, DVTs of the leg, and it usually occurs in very long flights where the person doesn't get up and move their legs.
How common is it in a flight, say, that's 90 minutes?
Less common than a longer flight.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Any recross?
If I heard you right, that sometimes sudden, unexpected death that you looked at, there's no injury at all.
Correct.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, you may step down.